So here we are again, my friends. It is SummerSlam 2024, also known as Hot WrestleMania. Listen, if you are into single night events or premium live events, you should probably doubly enjoy this one. I think from next year, it's probably going to be a two-nighter. As ever though, there are a bunch of rumours and murmurs going around there, swirling in the internet, so I, Simon Miller, and my bald head thought we would come to you via the magic of YouTube. We can go through them and try and figure out, should we care about this, or is it a bunch of beef? Let's go. So let's start with one I'm sure you've heard by now. And if you haven't and you're watching videos like this, that doesn't make any sense. You must have like split personalities. But yes, come SummerSlam 2024 on that Saturday night, it certainly does sound like we're about to get the return from the first time since WrestleMania 40 of the tribal chief, the head of the table, the real one, Roman Reigns. Now it makes perfect sense given that the Bloodline 2.0 is trying to kill Cody Rhodes and the rest of SmackDown. Meaning the big question is, when does Roman show his face? Does he do this during the match? Or does he do it after? Now I gotta figure that Solo Sikoa and his boys are gonna be idiots the whole time, but that's when Kevin Owens and Randy Orton can show their face, because don't forget, they need their revenge too. They were taken out by the new Bloodline. So they can take out Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, and then instantly you balance the books. And as for Tangaloa, well, he's only got one eye at the moment, so he's probably going to be easy cheese. So it can basically be a big schmoz like it was at WrestleMania, when Cody hits those three crossroads, which he loves to do. He gets the 1, 2, 3, and that's when you pull the shenanigan gap. You'll also get the big Bloodline attack, because they will have the numbers game here, which is when you get Halavila, Salabina, Boo, and Roman Reigns' music hits, and hopefully it sounds something like that, because that would be a downgrade, and then yeah, Mr. Tribal is back. He's also probably going to get one of the pops of his life, which actually ties directly into another rumour, because I think just before this, we may actually get another debut, and it's a guy from New Japan. Hikuleo apparently has already been signed, and has been signed for a couple of months, which would make all the sense in the world, because it would take Bloodline 2.0 up to 5 individuals, which just so happens to be perfect for War Games. That way too, you can have the baby faces even more in peril, and have fans, especially me, go, well, I guess that is our big surprise, or actually no, there is a bigger shock, and I don't really know how else to say it, because it's the third time of me repeating it, but yeah, then comes Roman Reigns. If you do it like this as well, the next SmackDown is going to do mad numbers, and doesn't it just make all the sense in the world, 2 + 2 = 4, that if you are going to main event with Cody Rhodes versus Sikoa for the WWE Super Duper Whooper title, that it ends with this kind of wonderful mess. I mean, it would just be so disappointing not to do this now, especially because on that recent SmackDown, Solo Sikoa even said, oh hi Roman Reigns, you know where to find me if you want me. Now the actual answer is a dimly lit room, but I'm pretty sure Solo meant SummerSlam. So I'm going to give all of this a whopping 9 out of 10 on the Simon Miller predictability meter. I don't know, I just feel it in my bones. It's probably something I should go get checked out by a doctor, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to blame it on WWE. There's actually more to this as well, so let's double background, because do you know who else could return? That's right, say it with me, Jimmy Uso. Now this would be the start of the original Bloodline getting back together, and don't forget Roman Reigns is a free agent, so he can go to Raw and recruit Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, but also it means if Jimbo comes back, guess who can be the guy to take him out? We just talked about him, flipping Hikuleo. I mean, it would just be the wildest roller coaster, and while Uso would come back and get squished, sometimes you have to understand your role, and that is something that Jimmy Uso does not get enough credit for. You tell him to do something, and he goes out there and does it to the best of his ability. I just think you have to look at it from the audience's perspective, and you absolutely would have felt like, well, I got my money's worth here, but also we're planting the seeds for the Survivor Series, where yeah, we're definitely going to do Bloodline versus Bloodline. So this one is getting an 8 out of 10 from me on my stupid meter. I realise that I have just thrown 3 people into the mix, some making their debuts and some making their re-debuts. I don't care, man. I'm excited and I'm on a trip. Now, I'm not sure this is a rumour either, it's more of a prediction, but it's gone absolutely crazy today, mostly because of the betting odds. But it sure does sound like when we get to the SummerSlam, do you know who is going to be a brand new official couple? Dominic Mysterio and his moustache, as well as Liv Morgan. Because of course he's going to show his true colours and screw over Rhea Ripley. She's going to leave Rhea all sad and upset. That's also going to be great, because after this, she can go even more extreme than she is now, Hopefully, I don't know, shave his damn facial hair. I sort of do hope this leads to an eventual Mysterio versus Ripley match, but I'm also an absolute idiot. What can I do about it? But I've never done this before either. I am giving it a 10 out of 10. I just think it makes all the sense in the world, and Liv Morgan can hold that tight for a little bit and come out on Raw and say, ha ha, I told you my revenge tour was going to be complete. Game over. Also, ain't nobody want the condom as a babyface yet. Don't do it. We can carry this one on as well, but kind of flip it on his head, because there's another rumor that Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in her briefcase. Look at me, in my damn eyes. No. Now look, I am recording this before SmackDown, but I would bet my bottom dollar that Tiffany's going to go, oh hi, look at my brand new briefcase, which is pink. So you don't want to get rid of that in 24 hours, especially because part 2, we don't have the men's briefcase in play anymore. So Tiffany Stratton should hold this thing for ages, and it should basically become a defining point of her character. Also as well, Tiffany can get major boos by screwing over Bayley and helping Nia Jax win, and then we can promote that relationship too, because now for some reason, these two are best friends. So I'm pretty confident about this one as well. I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. If we do get a cash-in, we get to August with no money in the banks. Well, again, what do I know? Nothing, but I just think it would be a mistake. And you could craft a whole story around this for months in the women's division. So, a 1 out of 10? That's right. None of the places have hinted that Trish Stratus could get involved here, because of course we teased that at Money in the Bank with Tiffany Stratton. But given that WWE has just announced that come the Survivor Series, we are going back to Canada, I think it's Vancouver, for our premium live event, well, I would actually hold Trish off for now, and when you get close to November, well, you can start booking it then. So it just comes down to being a waiting game, and because SummerSlam does have so much talent, you do not need to shoot your load too early. Should have said that, there are kids watching. I've let myself down. It's another 1 out of 10. You know what? 2. The only other real piece of madness does come with the United States Championship. Because of social media, oh my gosh, over the last 24 hours, some people are now saying, oh, I bet you that LA Knight is going to squash Logan Paul as WWE sends a message. Now listen, I think LA Knight is going to win that belt. That's just the way the story has been heading. But really, if you think there's going to be any follow-up to all of that stupidness, well, I don't think you're going to see it on SummerSlam. I would love it because it would be hilarious, but yeah, sure, LA Knight will walk away with that belt, but it will just be a good match otherwise. So in terms of the predictability meter, a 1 out of 10. Let's just move on, because that's a hole of death. Ultimately though, because Roman Reigns is probably going to dominate this, especially the conversations coming out of the pay-per-view premium live event, you don't actually need to do much else, because there's a little saying called lost in the shovel, which we have seen before. So yeah, if you do have some cards, don't play them all of now. I mean, we've still got the rest of the year. For example, some people think that Randy Orton should turn on Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam so we can start that program, but there is no need. You could probably hold that off until the Royal Rumble, should you so wish. To do it right now in August 2024, well, I just think you're doing too much too soon. But as it was out there, as a little bit of a rumor, I'm going back to the 1 out of 10. You can't have Randy Orton turn heel and Roman Reigns come back. I'll probably have some kind of aneurysm and die. It does kind of show, though, coming out of SummerSlam, WWE could get even crazier than it is now. And not only will we probably eventually get that Randy Orton Cody Rhodes thing for the World Championship, but we've already talked about it at Survivor Series. You're probably going to get Bloodline versus Bloodline. And these two things could both be main events and people would buy into it. And you have all the stuff on Raw with CM Punk, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Speaking of that too, they're probably going to do the SummerSlam 1997 finish, but I don't want to get into prediction territory. But I do want to say, if you are invested in the event itself, well, you should be pumped for the future too. So it's almost like WWE planned for this, and they know what's going to happen at WrestleMania 41, so now they can moonwalk through the rest of it. Who knew that would be good for a fictional-based story company? Not me. I think ripping up the script every single week is far better. Of course I don't. Now listen, I'm sure there's more rumors out there, so make sure you drop me a comment below. And look, you have to find a source. You can't be the source of the rumor. Otherwise, you could say Repo Man would return, although I'd be totally down for that. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And if you would like some more SummerSlam 2024 content in your life because you just want to get pumped up, bam, click that video right there. Promise you, you'll have a good old time. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining me, my friends. And again, SummerSlam comes but once a year, so just enjoy it as much as possible. And if you are having a Slam of Summer party, make sure you have pizza, because at least one person is going to want pizza. Sound good? Great. Goodbye.